he's good for business, and I'm sure a lot of WWE executives believe the same thing. But it's just, I'd love to see him more. Maybe it is time for him to retire, and I'm just having a hard time accepting the fact that this is it. For The Undertaker, with a win-loss record that is absolutely unparalleled to anything, a WrestleMania win-loss record that is absolutely undefeatable or unbeatable, that nobody will ever surpass, and the collection of legends, Hall of Famers, former champions The Undertaker has defeated is unbelievable. If you're someone like Vader or Stone Cold Steve Austin, who beat The Undertaker in a main event level match, you have a lot to be proud of, because anyone who gets over on The Undertaker is very fortunate. You have someone like Triple H with all this power, who's never defeated The Undertaker in a singles match. At WrestleMania, he's never beaten him, but within his entire career, Triple H has never defeated The Undertaker. So it would be interesting to see if they did a promo between the game and The Undertaker at the 1000th edition of Raw, which is something I can't see happening. But it would be really interesting to see if it's done. And if not that, someone The Undertaker hasn't had a promo done with in years. Probably Mankind or Dude Love or Cactus Jack, someone who he had memorable feuds with back in the late 90s. And if you were to score The Undertaker feuds on points, himself and Mick Foley had some of the best wrestling matches of all time. And technically, who you should have The Undertaker do an in-ring promo with would be Mankind. For our video form for HEW Wrestling Network, I threw up the 1996 Buried Alive pay-per-view from October of 1996. It took place a couple of weeks prior to Halloween in 96, and it was the main event of one of WWE's most successful pay-per-views. It was one of the biggest draws that saw Mankind bury The Undertaker alive, only to rise about a month and a half later to defeat Mankind. So I think that it's incredible that WWE were able to produce so many incredible matches involving The Undertaker and his gimmicks with so many incredible talents. So if you were to have a feud based on, crowd response and stuff, and have a promo done based on crowd response, it would be an in-ring altercation between Mick Foley and The Undertaker, which is something that will probably not happen. I do see Mick Foley having some involvement with the 1000th edition of Raw, but with, The Undertaker not being there, it's really going to let me down, because he's the one guy that I'm hoping we get a chance to see, even if it is for a 5-minute recorded promo, which we saw The Undertaker contribute a lot to for earlier editions of Raw. In 1996, he had a lot of pre-recorded stuff done for his feud with Diesel, which was a big match at WrestleMania 12, the same WrestleMania that saw Shawn Michaels win his first WWE Championship and live his boyhood dream. But The Undertaker did do a lot of, recorded stuff for a lot of his feuds in the way of playing mind games, as WWE tried to sell it. But I think that it's more effective having The Undertaker there. So I hope we don't see recorded promos for the likes of The Rock or The Undertaker, because I really think that these type of talents need to be there for editions of Raw and special editions of SmackDown who aren't there. It's okay for The Rock to send a pre-recorded announcement or video to SmackDown celebrating something special or celebrating a milestone. But for a show like Raw that has produced over 1,000 shows, producing more shows than Friends, Frasier, or Seinfeld, all shows that were eventually canceled and reruns are bearing it now, you never see a rerun of Raw. That's something that WWE deserve a lot of credit for. So with Raw never airing reruns only once a week for fans who didn't see the show live when it aired on Monday night, I think that you do need to have someone like The Undertaker there, and if you don't have him there, you're going to contribute to a low rating or watch rate for the 1000th edition of Raw. And what kind of future will Raw have if The Undertaker is absent from the 1000th edition of Raw and continues to remain absent from Raw for months to come? I don't see a really good future for WWE in the way of ratings or pay-per-view buy rates if The Undertaker continues to remain absent. Yes, he's earned it with an incredible win-loss record and everything, but can you really afford to have him absent off of the 1000th edition of Raw? I, for one, believe that you can't. You can't even afford to have him absent off the 25th anniversary of SummerSlam, which you would think would be the next big event second to WrestleMania The Undertaker would appear at. He appeared at WrestleMania 27 in 2011, remained absent at SummerSlam 2011, and will continue to remain absent for the entire year, appearing just once at WrestleMania 27. It seems to be the same way this year, appearing just once at WrestleMania 28. There is still time for The Undertaker to appear on an edition of WWE Raw or SmackDown or another pay-per-view. I, for one, refuse to believe that this is it. for someone like The Undertaker because of how many contributions he's given to the wrestling business, and I don't want to let go of something that was so special to a lot of wrestling fans. And, I was an Undertaker fan. I'm not going to lie to you. Seeing The Undertaker wrestle live several times in my lifetime was an absolute privilege. I saw him wrestle in a tag match where he teamed with Shawn Michaels against Goldust and Mick Foley, an incredible tag team match that contributed well, I think, and very efficiently to the Mankind Undertaker feud, which was ongoing in the later part of the 1990s. And I saw The Undertaker defend the WWE Championship successfully in a casket match in July of '97 against Vader, someone who I've spoken to on the phone numerous times. Great individual, and The Undertaker and Vader gave us an incredible WWE Championship match for WWE house shows in 1997 to promote their road to SummerSlam. It was called the Canadian Invasion Tour, and it was one of the best live house show appearances I saw The Undertaker make in my lifetime. So The Undertaker contributed both to live house shows and live television programming of both Raw and SmackDown effectively over the last decade, and with providing us with nearly 2 decades of entertainment, how can you leave The Undertaker off of an incredible show like Monday Night Raw that has produced over 19 and a half years of entertainment? And a lot of those 1,000 shows included The Undertaker. I think that with the exception of a major injury The Undertaker had in his career, one of his most notable major injuries being an injury to his scrotum, which he had a massive operation on that didn't allow The Undertaker to appear on WWE television for a number of months before returning under the gimmick of the Biker and the American Badass in 1999 right up until 1999, mid-2000. I think that The Undertaker's contributions to Monday Night Raw is something that will never be forgotten and something that cannot go without acknowledgement. Yes, they continue to acknowledge The Undertaker on WWE television, but the most recent acknowledgement he's been getting is from a WWE.com commercial that airs in between segments of Monday Night Raw and SmackDown, and that is unjustifiably wrong and the incorrect way of marketing someone like The Undertaker. He's the Phenom, the Lord of Darkness, the Legend, the Dead Man. He's been known by so many nicknames to the WWE Universe and the wrestling world in its entirety. So why are you keeping him off WWE television as much as you have? With The Rock and DX advertised for the 1,000th edition of Raw, if The Rock can go out of his way to make an appearance for the 1,000th edition of Raw, having nothing to promote, and probably the only reason he's coming there is to let us know when is the next time we will see The Rock compete, which will probably be for the WWE Championship at WrestleMania 29. I think you can go out of your way to make an exception and have The Undertaker appear, even if it is to make the lights go out for about 30 to 45 seconds with the gong going off. You don't even have The Undertaker have to say anything to be an effective appearance. At least fans will go home from the 1,000th edition of Raw knowing that we will have an appearance by The Undertaker on the show and on the bill. With Sheamus versus Randy Orton for the WWE Championship, a rumored match to be happening at the 1,000th edition of Raw, I think WWE have gone above and beyond the requirements of a creative team and a company to really go all out for the 1,000th edition of Raw, with Monday Night Raw providing us with so many unforgettable moments that have involved the likes of Stone Cold Steve Austin right through to The Undertaker, who had an incredible match, by the way, at the 1998 SummerSlam that saw Austin utilize a low blow because it was the only effective way of pinning The Undertaker's shoulders to the mat, one of the very fortunate few wrestlers who have defeated The Undertaker in a big-time main event match. And like I said, The Undertaker's win-loss record really puts into perspective how dominant of a legendary superstar The Undertaker's been, defeating everyone from Hulk Hogan to Sid Justice. I think that The Undertaker needs to be there because his moments that he's provided for a show like Monday Night Raw over the years, long before the brand extension was ever implemented, really is deserving of being acknowledged on the 1,000th edition of Raw. If he's not there, they will not go an entire 3-hour edition of Raw without giving The Undertaker some kind of acknowledgement, even if it is a video package of Undertaker highlights we have seen on Raw over the course of the last 19 and a half years. The Undertaker's been there for virtually every edition of Raw. It's only here recently he's been taking a back seat to the new talent initiative, and you really can't afford to have a legendary superstar like The Undertaker off of Monday Night Raw. I mean, The Undertaker's been there for virtually everything. He's defeated every big name the WWE has thrown his way, from the Great Khali right back to Hulk Hogan. And like Brock Lesnar said in a recent interview, he was there way before people like Brock Lesnar, John Cena, Batista, and he's very deserving of the respect he gets from the WWE locker room. He has a better knowledge of professional wrestling than probably any new talent superstar or any legend ever had, even Hulk Hogan. So I think he needs to be there to offer some insight as to what to do for the 1000 edition of Raw through the Newtown Initiative, some of the upcoming wrestlers who've been there for about 35 years, and I think that his role on the 1000 edition of Raw just has to be as effective as the roles he's had in the late 90s, early thousands. I hope we do get a chance to see The Undertaker, and I hope he, contributes to Raw in an effective way like The Rock, DX, and many other WWE legends and trademark individuals and staple individuals are guaranteed too. The 1000 edition of Raw featuring WWE Champion CM Punk, World Champion Sheamus in action will come down on the 23rd of July 2012. We will be bringing you complete coverage of the 1000 edition of Raw by the way of results in our new RSS results feed, and we'll have photos from the 1000 edition of Raw and a downloadable video in HEW Wrestling Network. So those are some of the ways you can catch the 1000 edition of Raw, along with an exclusive streaming link of the 1000 edition of Raw in our streaming forum brought to you by wrestling-tv.net/TV. So make sure you join us for that, and stay in the loop of professional wrestling news by using our Professional Wrestling News RSS feed you can find in our news center by clicking on News Center and clicking on News Feed. You can also get access to our news feed from our Facebook wall, as well as some additional information and tweaks on our Facebook page, including Facebook wall posts and archived videos. You can also listen to the show on YouTube, where we invite you to comment on our video blogs and like us at youtube.com/JonathanClarke22. You can follow the show on Twitter for video archives and additional news items on twitter.com/JonathanClarke1, and you can contribute to the ongoing conversation about the 1000 edition of Raw and many other topics at facebook.com/HEW Entertainment. Send us a friend's request, follow us on Twitter, and subscribe to the ongoing conversation